Dealing with hunger. Now, this can go in so many different factors and have so many implications, and I'm just going to try and cover as many as possible, right? Sleep. By having poor sleep, you increase your leptin and ghrelin, which is your appetite and satiety hormones, which will jack your hunger up super high. So if you get poor sleep or you get less than 6 hours, you're going to be hungry more so than if you weren't getting that poor sleep. So sometimes you have to be aware that your hunger throughout the day isn't because you need food. It's actually because of things that have happened in other parts of the day, and they're just a recurring theme. So don't try and act on hunger like it's something that you have to do. When you're in a dieting phase, you're going to be hungry, and that's a sign of a good diet, is that you're going to be hungry at some point during the day. Now, sleep, have that awareness in there. If you're getting poor sleep and then you're really hungry during the day, last that cycle, but get good quality sleep. The second one is volume of meals. If your volume of your meals, and you're not eating particularly high amounts of volume per kilos, the vegetables that you're eating aren't dense, compare broccoli to spinach, they're two different voluminous levels. Broccoli super high volume, spinach super low volume. And if you think about 30 grams of peanut butter could be 150 calories, imagine the amount of broccoli that you could get for 150 calories, and you compare the volume of foods. And there's another video on this, it's playing the volume game. You've got to get those volumes of food so that you're hungry less parts of the day. Like I said, hunger will be inevitable at some point when you're dieting, but it shouldn't be all of the time, and that will come through your volume of food. The next thing is meal hygiene, which has its own separate video, but control how fast you eat, how you're eating it, and how long it takes you to eat. That'll be super important. And the mindset that you're in when eating, you need to be away from a screen, or try your best to be away from screens, and take your time with that meal that you're eating. Chew as much as you can. And the chewing element, there's a reason why professional challenge eaters, or the people that do the big stacks of burgers in 15 minutes, are they so fast at the beginning, is because you have a period of time within your digestive tract is that food isn't recognized, it goes down. So in the first 5 to 10 minutes when you're eating food, it doesn't signal that you're full. So you can eat as much as you want in those 5 to 10 minutes and get it down as fast as possible without the body saying that it's full. So when that comes to us and dieting, we need to last our meals as long as possible so that we trigger our fullness feeling around about the 12 to 15 minute mark, so that you can feel fullness after each meal. If you're so hungry that you really wolf down your meal, you're actually not going to get the feeling of fullness, and you're actually just going to finish your meal and be like, okay, when's the next one? And when you get yourself in that cycle, it only ends in either really poor mental health because you're focusing on food all of the time, or you're already then hungry again, and you're going to have to you'll probably eat more food because you're not getting rid of that hungry feeling, and it won't be a pleasant experience. And overall, playing the timings of your meals, which has a separate video, you need to be able to elongate your meals out so that you can last. If you're going to bed at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be really difficult for you to manage 3 to 4 meals over that long space of time. Let's say if you're up at 7 a.m. and you're going to bed at 1 a.m., you've got 4 meals to last you that many hours. So what I would recommend firstly is get better sleep and reduce your bedtime to 10 or 11 o'clock so you have less time to be hungry. Then you want to elongate your first meal out. So instead of eating your first meal when you wake up at 7, you want to elongate it as long as possible. So, for most females that I work with that go relatively low calorie, is that you have your first meal at 12, and then you have 4 meals between 12 and 10, which only be a 10-hour window to get four meals, which is relatively small. So you'll feel like you're eating quite a lot in the afternoon, which is great to stay away from hunger.